I'm Ray and this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for clicking on the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already to help the channel grow. And welcome to episode 2 of Crusader Rex, which is, we're going to be in year 2 of this one. It's still the same game from the previous video, but it's spread over 6 years in the Third Crusade in the Middle East. That said, if you want to pick up on extra rules and all that, I recommend going and catching the first videos. We're going to jump right into it and keep right on proceeding into year 2 and year 3, hopefully, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get to it. So, going into year 2, you shuffle up all the cards, deal out 6 to everybody again. Here are the Crusaders cards, a couple of 1s, a couple 3s, the Assassin card, and Jihad, the Saracens. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Well, that's super even. Okay. Well, for year 2, the Saracens are going to try and take Antioch, much as they took Tripoli, and own the north, basically. Meanwhile, the Crusaders seem to be consolidating towards the south. So we need to take Antioch, and we need to get rid of this guy. Round 1, I should say, of year 2. I noticed a little token here, slightly off camera. Is on 1188, so second year of the Crusades. And I think we're going to use the Assassin card right off the bat. And we're going to choose one block as a target, and that's going to be somebody down in Egypt. Meanwhile, the Saracens are just going to use one of their mini 3s. So the Assassin goes first, and we are going to target this block. Roll 3 dice, scoring 1 full hit for each 3 or less. All hits are applied to the target block. Okay. As it turns out, we're targeting an arrow block who starts with a 4, which is pretty strong, but he only hits on 1s. So 3 dice hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. So this block is reduced. 1 hit, 2 hit. Meanwhile, 3s. Move number 1. They can move this group 3s, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, good. 1, 2. They don't need to do more than that. They will be the main force. The second group coming up. Oh, do we need a second force? Shoot. I don't know that we do. I don't know that we do, and I think I'm going to risk it. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So we are just going to try and choke point him, basically. Although maybe I should leave some people in Tripoli, just in case somebody spawns there. So we'll leave this guy and this guy. They'll soon be reinforced anyway, so maybe just the one guy. But we'll leave one guy who can actually take a hit. All right. So that's everything. The Assassin technically moved to Egypt, but he bounces back up to his hometown. And we're on to the fighting. We'll do this fight first. This guy is a hospitalier with 2 dice, or 2 hits, hitting on 3s. And we've got a C2, C2, and an A2. So he's defending. He gets to go first. 2 dice hitting on 3s. Hits once. So this guy has to take the shot. Good job on your part, buddy. Now 3 dice hitting on 2s. Yes. Back at him. That's 1 hit. And now this guy will go, and he is 3 dice hitting on 2s. And takes him out. So they stand back up to preserve their current hit points. So, defending Crusader-wise, we've got this guy. He's a B3. This guy, who is an A2. And this guy, who is a B2 and should be turned this way. Okay, down here we've got a B2, A2, B2, and a B2. Let's this guy going. So 3 dice, hitting on 2s. And he gets 1 hit. And we're gonna say this guy takes it. And now the attacking A gets to go, and he's hitting with 3 dice also on 2s. And he gets 2 hits in, which automatically has to go to the person with the most. So this guy takes it, and then it goes to whomever. So this guy's gonna take the next one, and then this guy, then this guy, yes. Okay. Now we're into the Bs. Defenders again go first. So this guy, 3 dice, hitting on 3s, and he is going to charge in a knightly fashion, so he gets +1 die, but hurts himself on a 6. So hits 1 and hurts himself. Of course he does. So, ouch. And guy with the most has to take it, so we'll give it to this guy, since there's a tie. Wow, that was really not great. And this guy has 2 dice hitting on 2s. He is not going to charge, I don't think. Oh yeah, he is. Who am I kidding? Oh wow. Would he charge right into the ocean? All right, so he's dead. Wow. That was pathetic. Okay, now for the attacker's response. I guess we'll start with this guy. 2 dice hitting on 2s. Two hits. So they both go down 1. And now this guy. 2 dice hitting on 2s. And he hits once. So I guess this guy's eliminated. And finally this guy, who's 2s hitting on 2s. And gets 1. Wipes them out. And so they take Antioch. And again, always make sure to keep them so that they're in the right spot. However, there's been trouble in Damascus while we've been in the north. Hey, buddy. Somebody had a bad jump today and hurt his paw, ripped his claw a little bit. So we're being extra nice to him. So I guess if he wants to put his paws in Damascus, we'll allow it for now. But it is going to be hard to play those cards. Maybe I'll move them. And if you've ever had cats, you know that that's just the way of how it goes sometimes. Even when you have a game table to try and prevent that from happening. I looked away for a minute to go refill my coffee, and here we are. Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. Hey, your tail's wiping out the northern parts of the Crusades here, buddy. All right, back on track. Just a minute. Okay, 1 cat later. We are on to the second turn of the second year of the war. Let's see. The Crusaders, obviously, this is the big play for Egypt since they've lost everything in the north at this point. Also, they need to recruit, by the way. So they recruit this guy, who is a pilgrim, which means he can show up at any port town they want. Huh. He's going to show up in... Gaza is not a port town, so he'll start in Ascalon. And the Saracens recruit another Turk in Aleppo. Okay. So again, let's see. Definitely a 3 from the Crusaders this time, because we need to get some stuff done. Meanwhile, over here, 3, 3, 2, 3. I think they're going to go with a 3 also, because they got a lot of stuff to do too. Always ties go to the Crusaders for movement, so they get to go first. Let's see, so we're going to go 1, and then 2 down into Egypt. So that's 2 moves of the 3 moves. Should I have left that guy there? No, I'm going to bring him in fresh. Why not? Which means he should be upright like that. And meanwhile, in Acre, should we make a play for Damascus? Maybe so. If we go up the coast, we can intercept those guys in Beirut and then cut across. 3, 4, 5. You can only move 4 across that tiny little road there. So we will leave, who are we leaving behind? Just this guy. And these guys will go 1, 2 into him, which is going to be an abrupt fight. And the third group will be consolidating down here, I think, in Jerusalem for now. So 1, 2, 3. Should we do that? No, we got to leave that guy there. Got to leave. We'll leave 1 person, possibly 2, guarding Antioch, and go 1, 2, because that's as far as. No, that guy can go 3 also. 3 down to here. Although I think we'll block up this port town because pilgrims can't land if there's a port town's not under their control. And so that's 1, 2 moves. And for the third move, we'll move out of Beirut and down to Challenge here. So just south of Beirut, we've got this fight going on. The defender, so he gets to go first, and he's going to, with his 1 die, hitting on a 2. Nope. We'll go first, B3. So 3 dice hitting on 3s. Two hits, that's enough to get rid of that guy. Okay, here are the reserve defenders at the start of combat round 2. We'll start with this guy. Single die hitting on 2s. He does. Let's see, so we'll say this guy takes the blow. Next up is this one, 2 dice hitting on 3s. Two hits. And it always has to go to the people with the most, so 1 hit and 2 hits. And now this guy, 3 dice hitting on 2s. One hit. So this guy takes the blow, and now comes the counterattack. 2 dice on 3s. Two hits. So 1 and 2. Now this guy, 2 hits on 2s, or 2 dice with hitting on 2s. 1 hit, So this guy has to take it. This guy, 2 dice hitting on 2s again. Wow. Eliminates 2 of them. And finally this guy, 2 dice. Yeah, wow. Okay. So the battle in Sidon did not go great for the Saracens. All right, it's time for the battle down in Egypt, which I realize they name cities for everything else, but for Egypt, they just call it Egypt, as opposed to saying Cairo or whatever town is actually on the border of Egypt, which I don't actually know if there is one. I don't think there is. And I think we will start with the only hits on a 1 because they also get 4 dice at it. Which seems like a nice way to start whittling people down. So, 4 dice hitting on 1s. Wow, 3 1s. That would be really a tragic roll in some games, but in this game, that's great. Let's see, and automatically the people with the most hit points takes the hit as always. So that's 1, that's 2, and when it's tied, you just pick whoever. So 3. Next up, we have another guy, 4 dice hitting on 1s. Have to admit that first one did way better than I expected. No hits, that's more like what I would have expected. Now we've got B2, which is 3 dice hitting on 1s and 2s. And it's 1 more hit. So I guess this guy. And finally this guy, also hitting on 2s with 3 dice. Oh, hitting on 3s with 3 dice. That's 3 more hits. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Well, that whittled them down pretty effectively for the opening round. All right. In reply, we'll start with this guy who hits on 3s. He's going to charge since he is a knight. So he gets 1 extra die, but he hurts himself on a 6. 3 or less and he hits the Saracens. So 1 hit and 1 hurts himself. So there's the hurts himself and there's the hit. Next up is this guy. He's also going to charge. And he also hits on 3s. What is it with these guys in rolling 6s? Holy cow. All right, so somehow this guy manages to fall off his horse and eliminate himself from the game. Neat. This guy, also hitting on 3s, will also charge because that's their big power. And normally you don't roll that many 6s. 3 hits. That's more like what you'd expect. So 1, 2, and 3. Next up, we got this guy who's got 2 dice hitting on 2s. He will also charge because at this point, that's their stick. So 1 hit and 1 hurts himself. And finally, this guy who has 1 dice and hits on 2s. And he cannot charge because he is not a knight. But he does hit. That takes us to the next round of combat. Again, the defenders are up. So getting whittled down a little bit. So we got this guy first, 2 dice hitting on 1s. Manages to get 1 hit, which has to go to this guy. Now this guy, same thing, 2 dice hitting on 1s. Cocked. Nothing. And this guy hitting on 2s, he's got 2 dice. 1 hit. They'll take out this guy. And lastly, this guy, 2 dice hitting on 3s. Nothing. Okay, so in reply, is he going to risk it? He's going to risk it. He's going to charge. He's got 1 dice, now it's 2 dice hitting on 3s. 1 hit. I guess I'll this guy. And now this guy, who has 1 die left, so he will also charge and hit on 3s. And does 1 hit. And this guy hits on 2s, has 1 die, so he will also charge and gets 1 hit. Coming down to the wire. This is round 3. On the 4th round, the attackers do not get an attack. They have to just retreat. So this will be their last chance to get the job done, but first the Saracens go. We got 1 die hitting on 2s, and he makes it. So somebody's out. Let's see. Probably this guy because he hits on 2s. And next up is him. 1 die hitting on 2s. Wow. And this guy, 1 die hitting on 2s. Holy cow. And that's it for the Crusaders. The Saracens hold the whole of Egypt. It's worth noting they are badly weakened down in Egypt, but nonetheless they survived, and that's it for the turn. So now we come up to turn 3. So we may go with the Jihad, a Call to Holy War, add 1 step to 3 different friendly blocks of your choice. Saracens are in a good position to do something, so they're going to use a 3 again. So the Saracens going to go first. It takes us on to combat. There's only 1, and it's happening in Acre. So the defender goes first. Is he going to retreat into the castle? In this case, that's probably the correct thing to do and force them to siege. So yes, I think we're going to have, he's going to move into the castle in Acre, and his Johnny-come-lately friends are going with him because you can have a maximum of 3 people. So that effectively makes it a siege situation. So then it becomes up to the attacker as to whether or not they want to storm the castle, which forces a normal combat basically, except that the defender has double defense. It takes 2 hits to cause a point of damage rather than 1. Or if they just want to sit and wait it out, in which case the defender can choose to sally forth and attack, which is just a regular attack, and they have no extra defenses to it. And then at the end of the turn, whoever's holed up in the castle is stuck with rolling a die, and if it goes poorly, they start losing due to attrition just by staying in the castle. So they're going to storm the castle, which means they're attacking, these guys are defending, and they're tougher than they normally are. Except they were already wounded, weren't they? They should be on 2s. Got to be careful about not twisting him. Oh, it's twice the town rating. My bad. So he can still attack. So that guy's going too. So up to 6 can attack. All right. So storming the castle. This guy will start it off. Will he charge? He absolutely will. So 4 dice hitting on 2s. Because I guess he's going to do a Lord of the Rings thing and go charging out like from Helm's Deep, and hits 2 of them. So 1, 2, the mandatory ones. Now this guy hits, he has 2 dice, hits on 3s, so he will also charge. Oh, and this guy takes 1 damage because he rolled a 6. So 3 dice, hits on 3s, gets 1 hit in. This guy will take it. And now this guy hits on 2s, and he's got 2 dice. He will also charge to make it 3 dice. Wow. Well, no people were hurt in that charge. So over here, we got an A3, so he goes first. 3 dice hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, 1 and 2. Now this guy, oh, except they actually are still getting double defense. Can't forget that. So for 2 hits, it's actually just 1. Now it's this guy with 3 dice hitting on 3s. And he also hits twice, which is actually just once because of the defenses. Now this guy's up. Also 3 dice, also 3s. And he hits once, which counts as a half hit, which is a thing in this game, so you do a quarter turn like that. Half hits are the only thing you actually heal from in this game at the end of a combat. And lastly, 2 dice hitting on 2s. And he gets 2 hits, so 1 complete hit and 1 half hit. Okay, that's it for that round. Back to the defense. Well, they can't retreat because they're already in the castle. So charging, hits on 3s, or excuse me, hits on 2s, and hurts himself on a 6. Why do they always do that? So one guy takes the hit. Is that the guy to do it? No, it's not. This is the guy to do it. And he takes himself out. And now this guy also charging. Hits on 3s though, so he gets 1 hit in. This guy will take it. And this guy is half hurt, but he still gets to use his die, so he will also charge and hits on 2s. And kills himself. Well, that's bad. So I think we all know how this is going to go, but first this guy will go 3 dice, hitting on 3s. Gets 2 hits in, and the Saracens now control Acre. So the Crusaders get Pilgrims, which means they can land anywhere in a port town, so they will land here to shore up these guys. And the Saracens recruit this guy, Bahram, who's starts in Battletech, which is, I'm sure, somewhere on this map. They're just going to play this 1. Meanwhile, the Saracens will play 2. And so that takes us to the 1 fight right here in the town of Sidon. They don't have a castle that's good enough to hold anything, so they're just going to attack. So we'll start with this guy. Hits on 2s, has 2 dice. Of course, he will charge in an effort to try and eliminate them, because that's working out better than the amount of times they hurt themselves. And he misses everything. Next guy also hits on 2s, also charging, so he gets 3 dice. And gets 1 hit, which this guy will absorb. And lastly, this guy who has 4 dice and hits on 2s. And cannot charge. And gets 1 hit in, which this guy will absorb. And over to the Saracens, we got 3 dice, because he's in the A category, and hits on 2s. And gets 1 hit. This guy has to take it. And then we'll do this guy who has 2 dice and hits on 2s. Nothing. And this guy who, same thing, 2 dice, hits on 2s. Gets 1 hit in, it's this guy again. Okay, start of the round. Back to the Crusaders. Pretty much no change. They're just gonna do what they can to hold out. 3 dice charging, hits on 2s. Gets 1 hit in, so this guy has to take it. This guy, 3 dice, hits on 2s because he's charging. Kills himself and takes 1 of them out, and does 1 hit. Okay, not optimal. And this guy can't charge, and 2 dice, Ice Maker hitting on 2s. Does nothing. So back over to the Saracens, 2 dice hitting on 2s. Doesn't. So 1 and 1. And this guy, 2 dice on 2s. Takes this one out. And last but not least, this guy, 1 die hitting on 2s. Nothing. Okay, well, this guy's last moment, probably. He's going to charge anyway into the third round here and takes himself out. Man. Oh, and the recruiting. Don't want to forget recruiting. Pull somebody really important. Hey, they got Hugh. And they pull some more Arabs who start in Egypt. You lose it, but they're going to play a 3 anyway, because why not? And the Saracens will play 2, because that's literally the only card they have left. So start of the turn, 1, 2, 3. They can't quite get there, but that's okay. So just the 1 fight. So these guys do get to go first, and they're double defense. So 3 dice plus 1 because he's going to charge, so 4 dice, and he hits on 3s. That's 1 hit and 1 hit. Okay, so any of them can take it because it's all the same. So we'll give it to somebody who doesn't roll hit on 3s. And now this guy hits on 3s, can't charge, or excuse me, hits on 2s, can't charge, and has 3 dice. And gets nothing. Okay, so in reply, this guy will start. He hits on 3s, but he only has 2 dice now. So that's 1 hit, so 1 person is partially hurt. Now this guy goes, and he has only a single die and hits on 2s. And he misses. And this guy has 2 dice and hits on 3s. And hits twice. So that's a hit that brings him down to 2, and a hit that makes him 2.5 basically. And that's the end of that round. So it's back to these guys, the defenders. He's still using 3 dice until you're fully wounded. So he will charge again with 4. And does 2 points of damage. So that's 1 and 1. That was a good solid hit. Good work there, buddy. And this guy hits on 2s and has 2 dice left. And gets 2 hits. Wow. Okay. It's a single die hitting on 3s. And he misses. So the defenders get to go again, and you bet they're going to pressure advantage. He's not going to charge this time, though. So 3 dice hitting on 3s, and he finishes him off. And the Crusaders hold Jerusalem. Okay, so the last thing to do is recruit. So mixy, 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 pick. And it is somebody else. Sigh. And for the Saracens, it is this guy. Turn 6, which is winter. So you can still do something, but you're -1 movement when you do it. And you can't start any battles. There is one winter rule I should mention that it hasn't really come up, so I hadn't really spoken about it, which is if you have more bricks in a town than the number holds, any extra bricks get eliminated, but I've been careful to not do that, so it hasn't really come up yet. So it is likely we are going to see a Year 3 instant win condition occur, which is when one side controls all 7 cities. The only city left to the Crusaders is Jerusalem. So that's not great. Deal out the 6 cards. And here we go. Let's see, the Crusaders, who are not going anywhere and are just trying to hold on, didn't get any special cards, which would have been handy, so they're just going to play a 1 and grit their teeth. Meanwhile, winter campaign, that's nice, but not right now. So the Saracens are going to play the 3. Okay, so there we are, and on to the combat. So, Battle of Jerusalem Part 2. The fight, he will go first, and he is not going to charge because they're all that's left. So 3 dice hitting on 3s. And they're still at double defense. So he gets 1 hit in, which this guy has to absorb. And now this guy goes, he gets 2 dice at hitting on 2s. And gets 1 hit, which again, this guy has to absorb, because he with the most hit points takes the hit automatically. All right, so now this guy, who I guess will go first, he's got 1 die and hits on 2s. So at most he can do a half hit, but he doesn't. And both of these guys have a single die and hit on 2s, so we will just roll them both at the same time. Oh, excuse me, they both hit on 1s, so we just roll them at the same time. 0 hits. So back to the defenders, who will keep right on fighting. 3 dice, 3s, he's not charging. Gets in 1 more hit, which eliminates this guy. And now this guy gets 2 dice, hitting on 2s. No hits. In response, we've got 1 guy hitting on 2s and 1 guy hitting on 1s. So 2 dice only. At most they can do a single point of damage between them. He hits, and the guy only hitting on 1s does not hit. Well, so it goes. So they do a half point of damage, and it has to go to this guy. Next round, this is round 3, so this is our last chance. 3 dice. Wow, that finishes them both off. And again, the Crusaders, he heals up his half hit, and they repel the invaders from Jerusalem. Okay, now we're back to the draw. Another German, that's not bad. 1 more German, and they can hit the board. And the reason those guys build up so slow is because they're really powerful. And the Saracens draw that clan member who starts in Homs, which, if you're not sure where the town is, just look for the icon because they're all on the map here. Okay, next round, nothing has changed for these guys. They're just going to play a 1 and keep waiting. Save that 3 just in case these guys show up at a port town. And meanwhile, the Saracens are going to use another 3. No fighting, so immediately to the next round. They're still just playing 1s. And the Saracens are going to play another 3 because they have 1 more. Draft, can't forget that. Something good, Crusaders, something good. This one. That is a Hospitalier, which is nice because he immediately shows up. Unfortunately for him, he shows up here. And for the Saracens, this guy, who shows up in Homs. Recruit. It is Robert from Normandy. Robert, you're in the way, man. And for the Saracens, it's this guy who shows up in Egypt. Okay, and card-wise, still holding out, hoping that the French or German guy gets drafted so they can make use of it. And the Saracens will use a 2 to keep migrating people. That's the end of the round. And now for drafting. And we got a German. They can finally show up. And they can show up at any port town. And I believe they are going to show up right here. And meanwhile, for the Saracens, this guy shows up in Egypt. Good timing on that. Okay, well that changes things a little bit. Going into round 4 here. The Winter Campaign 1 and a 1. So they're going to play the 1 since Winter Campaign's no good till then. And these guys are going to use the 3 now. Drafting. Another Englishman, Richard. Gotta love it, he's even got the 3-line shield. And the Saracens, he is in Damascus. Okay, Winter Campaign time. The Crusaders have a 2, and the Saracens have the winter campaign, allowing 1 normal group move during the winter turn. So, 1 battle at the end of the year to try to limit the number of reinforcements making it into Jerusalem. So the defenders go first. So Barbarossa there with 4 dice hitting on 3s goes first. Dang. He only hits once. Good thing he didn't charge. So we'll have this guy take the hit since he only hits on 1s. And now this guy hits on 2s with 3 dice. For 1 hit, so this guy has to take it. And now the counterattack. I guess the guy with 3 dice hitting on 2s will go first. 0 hits. And now this guy, 3 dice hitting on 1s. Holy cow. 3 hits. So 1, 2, 3. Next round, this guy up again. 2 dice hitting on 3s. Two hits. Now this guy, 2 dice hitting on 2s. Nothing. This guy, 2 dice hitting on 2s. Nope. And the last guy, 2 dice hitting on 1s. Nope. Okay, round 3. So last chance for the Saracens in this case. Although honestly, I think they just want to try and whittle them down. So the German again, hitting on 3s. Nope. And his cohort hitting on 2s. Also nope. The Saracen hitting on 2s. Nope. And the Saracen hitting on 1s. Wow, what a spectacularly bad round of firing. So the Saracens are forced to retreat since they were unable to wrap it up, which gives the defenders 1 last shot at them as they retreat. And that concludes the 4th round. So hitting on 3s. 1 hit. And hitting on 2s. Another hit. So it worked in that it whittled them down. And that'll be about it for winter, which means this guy gets killed because there's no place left for him to go, and he had to retreat to somewhere with a number on it. So that's the end of the year. That was pretty quick. No drafting of new people at the end of the year, and we're straight on into year 4.